afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my good buddy Jason. How's it going, dude?
They're pretty good, man. It's getting chilly outside, fall football weather, so it's starting to feel more like football season as we get deeper into the season too.
Yeah, we didn't even get a fall here. It was like from summer to winter.
Yeah, almost, man. It's not like it's gonna snow tomorrow morning and stuff, so it's definitely coming into the Christmas season, I guess you would say, because everybody likes to skip Thanksgiving nowadays.
That's very true, because you remember that's what they do in the stores where, like, right after Halloween.
Yeah, like, even if you go into, like, Walmart, they had, like, the Halloween section, and before Halloween, I saw Walmart in their, like, garden area already had the Christmas stuff to go. Like, it was already there.
Oh, yeah. Dean's fired up already. He put up in the chat, he said, "Kill Bell. The only one man that is the true number 26 for the Steelers is Rod Woodson."
Yeah, Le'Veon isn't in good graces of Steelers fans anymore, I guess. But I don't agree with what the guy did. So I'm definitely on their side when it comes to the anger toward him, because it's just a selfish thing, man. I mean, for years players have been playing on the franchise tag, and he $14.5 million he turned down because he wanted to protect his future. Well, $14 million right now is a good way to protect your future.
And like I've heard people say, and I'm sure you'll agree, that's money you're never going to get back.
No, he's not. He's not going to get it back. And if there was justice, and I hate to say it like this, if there was justice in this league, no team would sign him next year because of what he did. But you have other guys that are getting blackballed for doing things that are a lot less selfish.
I agree.
I don't want to get into that political stuff and everything, but you know what I mean. But
no, totally.
And they've gotten to the point to where they've either been blackballed or they've had to basically accept a very large pay cut. And Bell should be no different. What he did was selfish. What he did was detrimental to his team, obviously, and it should lead to negative things for him, not a major contract.
I agree. And the irony is, we'll get into this week's games, and we lead off with the Steelers on Thursday night pummeling Carolina 52-21.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but this wasn't a game, man. And hey, I'm gonna toot my own horn, but back early in the year, I told you this Steelers team was coming. They're too good. I don't care if Le'Veon Bell's not in there. We saw early on that James Conner is a very capable running back, very talented, very good running back. Strong, pounding kid, very athletic too to go along with that. He's like he's a number one running back, and he's proving it.
Yep.
And good for the Steelers that they, and the kid's a great story too. Cancer survivor, worked hard, and now he's number one there. And I understand the anger toward them. Like I just said, I would be angry too. Like, I'm angry as a football fan about what Le'Veon Bell did. But also the plus side of it is that this kid has shown that he can be a star. Like, he's a good running back. He's definitely number one.
He's kind of had rallied that team around him,
Yeah, perfect example what you just said. They rally around him, and he's the perfect guy to rally around, man. He's a survivor, he's a winner, he's a tough kid, and he's perfect for he's perfect for the Steel Town. He's a Steeler, the kid is like steel. And it's great. Like, I like his story. I like that something very positive has come out of something negative and controversial and just media drama, and kudos to him. Conner, that is, not Bell.
I agree with you. And you're starting to see now with these Thursday night games, we had talked about this before privately, where one team doesn't show up.
Yeah, that's the one thing I told you why I don't like like these games, is that there's a 50-50 chance. Obviously, it's 50-50. There's two teams involved. There's a 50-50 chance that one of these teams is not going to be prepared for the game. And as we've been seeing, especially this week, this Panthers, they just weren't ready. Like, the Steelers were locked in. Roethlisberger, especially, 5 touchdown passes on 22 completions is a very high touchdown percentage, and he just ripped them to shreds.
Totally. All right, next we have the Bears beating the Lions 34-22.
Man, followed up with another team that I really liked all year that I've been, championing. Like, I like the Bears. I like their team, man. I didn't know, I'm not going to say, I knew they were going to be this good. I thought they would be decent. Like, I like their roster. I like the team they put together. Adding Khalil Mack to that team obviously made that defense even better with Roquan Smith. They have a very solid core going forward. And I've said it before, I say it again. This team, their roster, their young coach that has like a progressive type of style, attack. They're to me, they're the new Eagles. They're the Super Bowl 52 champion type of Eagles team where I think within the next year, you got to watch out for the Bears. Like, they may become those monsters of the Midway type of Bears again because of the talent they have,
I agree.
Franchise quarterback is in place, too, with Trubisky, who showed this week with 4 total touchdowns. The kid can play football. And I still think he needs another weapon in the receiving game, and they'll have the offseason to do it, The funny thing is I think a guy like a Golden Tate would have fit them very well, what they do.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're running the same type of offense as like the Eagles and stuff, and the Lions is similar, I guess. But that's a big win for them, Just to beat a bad team and to do it well is big in my opinion, because as you start getting down the stretch, that's what good teams do.
No, I agree with you. And the Lions are in complete free fall.
Yeah, the Lions, that was a weird trade deadline for me because they added Snacks Harrison inside, and you're like, well, do they think they still could make a little run? And then they trade Tate. I understand why they traded Golden Tate. I get it. Because when you have a guy who's coming up into a contract, free agency in the offseason, you want to get something for him. They got a 3rd-round pick for him. That's a good return. Maybe he ends up back there. Who knows? You never know. There didn't seem to be any bridges burnt there. It was kind of like, hey, let's go give you a chance to win this the rest of the season, which now he's probably not going to do, but that's a different story. But he could end up back there. Like, he has a foundation there. He's, he had a lot of years there. So possibly
just have to wait and see.
Yeah, they get the 3rd and he ends up. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, moving right along, we have the Saints blowing out Cincinnati 51-14.
Yeah, another one, man. I mean, I think Drew Brees passed Brett Favre for 2nd most touchdown passes in NFL history. That was the big thing that came out of this game because the game definitely was not a game. You're starting to see the Bengals, turn into that Bengals team. As a matter of fact, that whole the AFC North, the Steelers and Bengals and Browns and all of them, that division is going the way that it really should be going, with the Steelers just being like the giants of that division.
Yeah, they're pulling away.
Bengals, one other note for them now is they bring Hugh Jackson back as an offensive assistant coach or something. I don't know what the title exactly was.
I think that's a good hire.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe Hugh Jackson is a good head coach. He just doesn't seem to have that in him. But
he's a good offensive mind.
Yeah, you don't need to be a great head coach to be a great coach. So, and I think that's what Hugh Jackson is. Hugh Jackson's a good coach, and I think that'll benefit them. Hopefully, they're not thinking of making him the head coach after Marvin Lewis is gone, because obviously that didn't work well in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But this was another game that just wasn't a game. The Saints are on a whole nother level compared to where like a Bengals, average, the mediocre Bengals team is, and it proves. I don't know. What do you think? Saints possibly best team in the NFL right now?
Yeah, I would have to say that after they beat the Rams.
Yeah. See, that game kind of, we talked about that too. That game kind of threw me off a bit because I thought that fake punt, I thought the guy got it. I mean, it clearly looked on the replay like the ball was across the line when he went out, and they marked him short. They reviewed it, and I don't know what they saw in that review, and that was almost possibly like a 14-point swing at that point because the Rams turned it over, and then the Saints went down and scored a touchdown. But also it was in New Orleans, so, there's that whole – I think these two teams are going to be like – they're obviously the best teams in the NFC right now, the Rams and Saints. I guess it could be – to me, it could be a coin flip because the Rams are going to get guys back,
Totally.
Talib being one.
Yeah, I agree with you in the sense of, it's like a pick 'em.
Yeah. I hope it stays that way because, I'd like to see a major playoff matchup between the two.
Yeah, rematch.
It would have to be the championship game, I guess, because they're both on their way to clinching buys.
Yeah.
Easily.
All right, well, let's keep it moving. This is one of the upsets of the week for me. The Browns beating Atlanta 28-16.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of like almost a beating too, like it wasn't like the Falcons kind of started making a run and then they turned it over on downs on a goal to go situation. The Browns look good, man. That team look inspired. Like new head coach. I guess when your head coach gets fired, you almost have to. You have to look at yourselves and go, well, he lost his job probably because of us, because I don't think Hugh Jackson's a good coach. I don't like Todd Haley at all. Like, I just don't like him. Even watching, like, the Hard Knocks on HBO made me not like him. But with Greg Williams there, they're probably not going to be there after this year, obviously, because Dorsey's going to want to bring in what I was
gonna say is those players. It's like we better get our shit together because whoever they're bringing in might not have the same loyalty to us that the previous regime did. So we better put some good film out there.
Yeah, I agree with that. And another thing is Dorsey could only do so much turnover in the offseason. Who else is left in his list to continue to make this his team, Yeah. Because I like him. He's a good general manager. I think he's going to turn that team around. I think the biggest thing that he's going to have to do is he has to find the right head coach now, meaning this offseason coming up. Don't think it's going to be Greg Williams. Possibly Williams stays in as defensive coordinator. I don't know, but we'll see. But
I'm curious to see if they want to go out and get the next young hot coordinator, or you know what I mean, like someone like the guy out in
Sean McVay.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, no, I knew who you were getting at. I believe that's there's I have a couple Cleveland Browns fans, and one of them told me that he really likes the head coach from the Oklahoma Sooners as maybe being that next, which would kind of fit, I guess, because he was Baker Mayfield's coach, right? So, but from what I understand, he could be that next McVay, that next what's his name, Matt Nagy from Chicago.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see there. But
the other one I think, real quick, not to get sidetracked, is I don't know if he'll necessarily go there, but I think he will be a head coach either this coming off season or the next, is DeFilippo.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I mean, we obviously know we like him here.
You know where I could see him end up, and I talked about this with other people, the Jets.
The Jets, yeah, I knew you were going to say that, man. We're like on the same page right now with the guys we're thinking of. The Jets, you know, another place I could see him end up, dude, is definitely this would be definitely a guy that they would love to bring in is Dallas with DeFilippo.
Yeah.
Dallas with that offense that they have down there with Dak, with the mobile quarterback and everything, Amari Cooper. Dallas would be a spot for DeFilippo, I think. If I was Minnesota, I wouldn't, you know, I'd be kind of like, you know, I'd rather not have him leave right now. Like maybe you should try to push him into staying if you can. But
yeah,
we'll see, because we know he's very good with quarterbacks. Obviously,
he's the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah, I love DeFilippo. I was upset when him and Frank Reich both left the Eagles, and I think both of them leaving right now is showing.
That's not to cut you off. Dean has an interesting idea. He said, "What if the Ravens fired Harbaugh and he went to Cleveland?"
You know, that's another guy that I was talking with, the Browns fan that I know. Harbaugh, I believe if they fire him, I have two teams. For Cleveland, one, and the other team I think that really needs to jump on Harbaugh would be the Denver Broncos. Would be a really good spot for Harbaugh.
I agree.
DeFilippo also with the Broncos. Look out for him, because they're obviously defensive. The Broncos are going to be like a team that you are going to have. They have a foundation there. They're a team that could really use the offensive mind, because that's where they tend to struggle.
Agreed.
But yeah, I agree. By the way, what'd you say? The upset of the week was the Browns over the Falcons?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I disagree with that, and we'll get into it.
I know there's one coming, I just remembered.
Yeah. We're going to get into that in a second.
All right, next we have the Colts hanging on and beating Jacksonville 29-26.
Yeah, the Colts, man, look, the Colts are 4-5 now. They're showing some signs of being a decent team.
Their first 3-game winning streak in 3 years.
Yeah, Frank Reich, man, turning that around, dude. I like Reich. Like, we talked about that too before with the Eagles. As I told you, I thought Frank Reich was kind of the guy that solidified the Eagles offensively, like play calling and design and stuff.
Yep.
I was not happy when he left. When McDaniels screwed over the Colts and we lost Reich, I was worried, and my worries have come to life, you know.
Yeah, they've been proven to be true.
Yeah, the Colts are a team where, I mean, Andrew Luck obviously looks like he's
back.
He's back. And listen, we can get into this, dude. Like, we can go into their schedule, and they play the Titans next. Obviously, Titans are coming off a big game. It's in Indy. Possible letdown for the Titans. They play the Dolphins after that at home. Then they play the Jaguars, Texans, Cowboys, and Giants. Then the Titans again. The Colts could possibly finish this season like 9-7, which I'm not saying playoffs. I'm just saying a big turnaround and a push going forward with their new head coach. Yeah, they could end up
with 500 or better.
Yeah, which would be good for them, you know. Then they can add, and the Colts are the kind of team that I would look at, man.
And they have a ton of money to spend.
Yeah, they're the team that could also be that new Bears, or, you know, like a quick turnaround like the Eagles, the Bears, you know, going forward. But we'll have to see.
I agree with that.
But this game was like, it was a good game. Like, yeah. It was a good game. And what was it? Was their kicker the last one to miss a field goal this year? Lambo.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Josh Lambo was the last one to miss the field goal this year.
I think you're right.
And their defense forced that late turnover to hold the game for them. So it was a good well-rounded game for them.
Yeah, I think they're on the come up.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
All right, moving on, we have the Chiefs eventually pulling away and beating Arizona 26-14.
Yeah, I mean, the sad thing about this is during the game, Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend's stepfather died at the stadium.
Jesus.
Which was, you know, that's tragic. The Chiefs kind of looked like they played like a bad team, and they kind of knew they didn't have to have a major showing, and it seemed like that's what happened. Like they played, they were never in. There was never a threat for them to lose this game, but they didn't beat up on Arizona like I thought they would. If that
Arizona
makes sense.
hung around.
Yeah, like it was at one point it was 20-7, then it was 20-14, and I was kind of like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And then obviously the Chiefs just scored the touchdown in the fourth, and it was like, yeah, this is
Yeah,
but I think
away.
this was kind of like a trap game for them that never really turned into the trap. If you know what if you catch what I'm, but yeah, that was not. They were never like in a direct danger of losing. I don't think, even though it did get a little close, but they'll have better games going forward.
I agree with that. It was, as they would say, like a mutter.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Here's another one that surprised me this week. Buffalo just pounding the Jets, 41-10.
Man, listen. If you would have told me this was going to happen, if you told me this quarterback was going to have the game he had, I would have said you're full of shit. Matt Barkley.
Yeah.
Matt Barkley having a good game. I didn't see that coming. Yeah, LaShawn McCoy had a big game. What happened to the Jets in this game? Like it was not good. I mean, Darnold didn't play. McCown did. Looked terrible. Matter of fact, let me go even further. He looked brutal. They just couldn't get anything going at all, the Jets. The game just looked bad.
It was an embarrassment.
It really was. When you get beat by 31 points to this Buffalo team with Matt Barkley at quarterback, that's embarrassing. That's firing head coach territory there.
Oh, I agree. I think he's done after the season anyway.
Yeah, Bowles, I don't think. I think they're gonna go out and try to get a bigger name to bring in there and start their turnaround. I think they're gonna
try to bring in, like I mentioned, like a hot coordinator to work with Darnold.
Yep, I think that's what needs to be done too. I think you're 100% on there.
To try to get him where he needs to be and get him the weapons he needs. There's not really much to talk about this one, so we'll move on.
Yeah.
This is another head scratcher. The Redskins beating Tampa Bay 16-3.
Like the Tampa Bay they just sucked, man.
And the thing is, they dominated like almost every statistical thing except for points.
Yep, they just kept turning it over. That was the big problem. Fitzpatrick, some bad interceptions. They just couldn't get the ball in the end zone. And the Redskins. Listen, I don't like the Redskins, obviously, but we've established that I will be honest when we do this.
Yeah, call a spade a spade.
The spade a spade, yes. And the Redskins are not a good 6-3 team. Let's be honest here. They're in a bad division. They've beaten opponents that have handed them games. Tampa on Sunday,
and they're
obviously.
Basically a last place schedule.
Yeah, they're not. Like Tampa Bay had 501 yards.
Yeah, and like you said, they just kept screwing up and missing field goals and turning the ball over.
Yep,
and that kicker lost his job because of it.
Yeah, Canizero. Yeah, and Washington made field goals, and they scored the one touchdown. And this game was a stinker.
It really was.
Nothing really. Nothing really big in that game. I mean, we're moving along pretty quick here.
And now we got to the upset of the week. Is Tennessee beating up on New England 34-10?
Yeah, I didn't see this one coming, man. I thought I guess when you're starting to roll like New England was, you're gonna get that one game. And by the way, the thing that stood out from this game, and we've been talking about it, and I think we haven't really done the show in a couple of weeks because of life and technical issues.
What happened? I lost my voice the 1 week, and then you got sick, and
yep, flew all over the place.
Yeah.
The thing that I think, I don't know if I said this on the show or if I said it to you personally, but I told you I thought Corey Davis, the wide receiver from the Titans, was going to turn into a number one. I said, I think they have a number one, and he even showed it more this week. that I think that kid, him and Mariota, are starting to get like a really good connection together.
Imagine if I forget his name, their tight end, if he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, who the hell was his name? Why can I not remember this guy's name?
Me neither, but he was like their safety blanket.
Yeah, really good hands. The one that was with the Niners before, right?
Yep, Delaney Walker.
There you go. Thank you. The Titans are a team, man, that in that division now are like they're close, you know? Like they're a game out now behind Houston, and who knows with Houston? They tend to be very like Houston's won 6 in a row, but will they fall flat on their face? Will they pull like that Chiefs where they'll win 6 or 7 and then lose 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Titans are like they beat the Eagles late. They just romped or rolled on the Patriots this week. And yeah.
They're a weird team to like predict, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the big thing that came out of this game too is Dion Lewis taking that shot at the Patriots.
Yeah.
For being cheap. He didn't even have a big game, and he kind of should have kept his mouth shut in a way. But you know, what are you gonna do?
Totally, I agree.
Guys like to talk. they might want to wait though, because I'm pretty sure that the Patriots have a better future this year than they do. But whatever.
Yeah. All right.
Patriots just didn't look good.
No, I agree. They looked mortal for once.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along, we have the Chargers beating up on the Raiders 20-6.
Yeah, man, I feel bad for the Raiders. Like them and their fans, I really do feel bad for them. They look terrible,
especially because it's their last year in Oakland.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, is that 100% a lock?
Not sure.
Yeah, see, I don't know, man.
And I don't want to say the Chargers are like the big surprise team, but I will say I didn't expect them to be 7-2.
Yeah, I have a feeling that going down the stretch here, we're gonna start seeing that 7-2 put to the test. You know,
I kind of root for them because I like Rivers. Like, he's a tough dude, and I kind of want to see him get a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only problem is, man, is like they look good this year. This may be one of the better teams they've had, but then you got to look at their conference and can they beat Pittsburgh? Can they beat the Patriots? Can they beat the Chiefs? You know,
I agree.
We'll see. They look way better than I've seen them look for a while, but can they overcome that? You know, because we know when the going gets tough, they fall flat.
Okay, Lance and Dean said it's one more year in Oakland. They don't go there till 2020.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought they did have that extra year left, but man, I feel bad for the Oakland fans then, because I think it's going to be another how many games are left for them? 7 this year, and then whatever happens next year, we'll see if Gruden can turn it around, but it's looking rough.
I've talked with Adam, and I asked him, I said, if they got the number 1 pick, who do you want? And he said Bosa's brother.
Yeah, Nick Bosa, the kid from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know anyone else that's out there that's worthy of the number 1 pick, at least right at this point in time.
Well, a good thing for them is they're going to have the number 1 pick, and then they're going to have another first-round pick, and then they're going to have another first-round pick.
They potentially could have 3 first-round picks in the top 20.
Yeah, they could. They very much could, because Dallas isn't gonna. I don't think Dallas is gonna. I mean, they beat the Eagles, but they're still average. So that's probably going to be a middle of the draft pick, like 15, 16, maybe 17. The Bears pick, I think, is going to be the one that's going to be in the 20s. We'll see though, because they could fall apart.
Yeah.
They're going to have a foundation.
No, I agree with you. All right. Next, we have Green Bay beating up on Miami, 31-12.
Yeah, that Packers team, man. Like, I don't know what I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. I don't know who the Dolphins are. This was kind of like a game where like you look at it and you're like, well, the Packers had to win this game obviously because of what the Bears are doing. Rodgers and them look good. That kid running back, man, what's his name? Aaron Jones. Man, did he have a game. And hey, getting rid of Montgomery looked like it was a spark for him because now he's the number one guy. He's definitely number one there.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to point out other than the Packers was Frank Gore goes over 500 yards this season. I think they said for the 14th straight season.
Yeah, that guy is the model of endurance, consistency. He's just the guy has just had a long, consistently like, you know, you're going to get output from him. No matter now if it might not be huge like 1,600, 1,500 yard output, but he's healthy all the time and he's a Hall of Famer. I think it's happening.
He's I counted it. It's like 280. I want to say he needs to pass Barry Sanders all time in rushing yards.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy if you think about it because he's done it 14 years now, and Barry Sanders didn't do it that long.
Imagine if Barry would have stayed around.
If Barry would have stayed around and had an offensive line, he would have shattered every NFL rushing record there was. Emmitt Smith. I like Emmitt. Emmitt was a great running back, but if you put Barry behind Emmitt's line, I think Barry would have just totally annihilated everything.
I think it would have been like how Jerry Rice is with the receiving yard.
Yep, very good comparison there. I agree. That's what he would have been.
Because, it would have been real quick, I just remembered this. Larry Fitzgerald went and moved up to number 2 all time this weekend in receiving yards, and he's still like 5,000 yards or more away from Jerry.
Yeah, he's still another person's good career away from Jerry Rice.
Basically.
He's still another almost Hall of Fame wide receivers numbers away from Jerry Rice.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Jerry Rice was a machine. That guy's in a whole nother league. He's by himself, basically.
That's crazy. All right. Moving right along, this was probably my favorite game. The Rams hanging on and beating Seattle 36-31.
Yeah, man, Seattle, they look like a desperate team. Definitely look like a desperate team. And the Rams look like a Super Bowl contending team. And when you get desperate teams that like force and push up against a team like the Rams, when they end up coming out at the end and they end up coming out